They'll be calling you a radical. I know you're all going to say, oh my God, Blanch has really went off the fucking Lulu fucking end this time. He's really lost his fucking mind. He's gone crazy. Did the nuclear cartel kill Kennedys? All the Kennedys. Well, we know they killed one. They surely killed Teddy, which was a big deal. Brain cancer. Nuclear false brain cancer. We know for a fact it is. I mean, I love all these people that try to sequester and hide the data. You know, I love the California Medical Association comes out against Fukushima and the nuclear cartel. What, how many months ago? Boy, what did they do? Give you a check? Well, they shut the fuck up, didn't they? You know, I want to talk about the flamethrower, my style, everything that I'm doing, all this folded in. Look, we are the media for real now. We really are the media now. For real. I'll post this article about Mike Lee, the biggest corrupt... In Utah, corruption is the economy. Now, corruption, white-collar crime, hair-sprayed masquerade party, it's not even accepted. It's encouraged. That's what you're told to do. You're taught that from birth here, to lie and steal and cheat from each other. It really is the economy. I'll post this article, brilliant written article about Mike Lee. I've been ranting and raving about him. I gave him a break in there that day. I got him now. He did lie to me. And I've got him. He was appointed by the illegitimate Supreme Court guy, Alito. He was his staffer. He's a Colorado, $1.1 million to the bad. Why his house is in... He short sold his house to J.P. Morgan. You do know that. And J.P. Morgan ate it. His brother's the head of the Supreme Court here in Utah. But before I go on that, I want to talk about these guys like, you know, the... Bill O'Reillys, the Ann Coulters, the Rush Limbaughs, of the world. I mean, you've got to give it to those guys. These are the greatest actors of our time. I mean, they've made millions, and it's amazing to me. Jesse Ventura. I mean, I love Jesse, but come on. I mean, here's Jesse Ventura. You know, Larry, Larry, did you know when they tried to, I just found this out the other day, when they tried to kill Lincoln, do you know that was a conspiracy? They tried to kill the Vice President, Secretary of State, and I'm like, did you skip 5th grade? So, by regurgitating 5th grade history, these guys are getting rich and feeding it to the dumb, dogmatic, ignorant masses. Ooh, really? You know, they feed, and then, I love Jesse. I do love Jesse. But, you're O'Reilly to Stephen Colbert. Well, you know, Stephen, it's all an act. I mean, he tells you, Stephen, if you're an act, what am I? I mean, he tells you. And they're making millions and millions, and people just gobble. I mean, he's rewriting his books are so pathetic and so poorly done. The whole flamethrower thesis, Ann Coulter, that dude, I mean, she's gotten rich. She's been folded in contemporary. I mean, Alex Jones working for the CIA. These guys are the, I mean, you got to give it to them. Colbert takes the other side. Colbert calls it out. You know, he sees what I see, and he has the whole time. I mean, he takes sarcasm to a whole nother level. I mean, that's why it's so funny. People do see it, but not the popular opinion in this country doesn't see it. Now, let's talk about this. Now, there's a great video that was posted of Kennedy at Hanford. Wow, you watch the end of that. I'm going to post that. That's very, very few people have ever seen that video. That video is amazing. Remember this. And you say, oh, the nuclear evil cartel, they really that evil? The United States of General Electric? Let's see. 40,000 United States Marines, including my father. I mean, I'll post this video. So beautiful. Thank you who built this. Amazing video. They all died of leukemia, all of them, including my father. From what I understand, 60,000 Army personnel. So there's 100,000, 60,000 Army, 40,000 Marines. March to the desert, human guinea pig, and their kids. You know, oh, it can't mutate through the gene pool, yet mine does. Now let's talk about John Kennedy. He signed the test ban treaty, and people say, oh yeah, so what? Oh really, so what? All the Joint Chiefs of Staffs at the time were so against it. The Joint Chiefs of Staffs wanted to use tactical nuclear weapons. They were going to do it. I mean, that's the arrogance that was going on at the time. You think Eisenhower just made that up? It's not a cliche. Beware of the military-industrialized complex. He was the military. He knew. I mean, we're talking the general. The general. Read it. I used to make my students read it. My teaching style is just like this when I used to teach. Of course, I've been blackballed now. You know, I thought for sure they'd hire me right back as soon as I got healthy enough coming out of it. Well, they don't want to touch me now. It's amazing, but academia is run by the nuclearism. He gave the Test Ban Treaty in July 26th, I believe, then, and in September of 1963, his speech at the UN. You know, people say, oh God, I mean, these guys are getting rich writing the same thing. Oh, Ventura's got a new book, there's movies all over, O'Reilly's got a new movie, I mean, you guys just keep regurgitating the old facts, blah, 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 blah. You know, he was the last man we had as a president. You know, here comes Clinton, Bill Walmart Clinton, you know, and he fooled us all. I'm the next John Kennedy, and we were so desperate and so in love with John Kennedy that we wanted him back. How tragic is his death of his son? That was a woman, his crazy-ass mother-in-law, you know. Wait for her, and he knew better to fly, but that crazy bitch forced him. Here comes Bill Walmart Clinton. We fall for it. Ross Perot's warning us. I wish I'd have listened to Ross Perot. I really wish I would have. Yeah, I've been wearing this because it's made in Turkey in the 60s. So I did some research on, or not in the 60s, excuse me, in the 80s on turkey labor. And there's good and bad. So I'm going to start talking about this jacket and the dynamic, because I think Turkey's the perfect dynamic to have this discussion about labor. And in Bangladesh, they're over there protesting. I know I break off and go, that's my teaching style. I used to tell my students, look, you're not in high school. This is an MBA program. I'm not doing all the work for you. My style has always been hot, it's been intense, it's been passionate, it breaks off, because I want you, and there's no excuse now, you just, hey, what did Kevin say? Google it. Because that's the learning, that's the education, that's the professor in me. You know, that's who I am, that's what we're lacking. I mean, I'm on old school, I use the chalkboard, used to, you know. My finance lectures, remember 2 years ago when you guys were all watching, a little over 2 years right before I got sick and the market was melting down, got into the 9,000s, and another actor, Kramer's gotten rich being that, well, he was right place, right time on Wall Street, he's one of them, but they always talk about their drivers, don't you love that? I mean, when I was rich, I didn't have no fucking driver, you know, I still took the bus, I still bought American-made goods because it's about integrity. Now I'm poor, not that big of a difference in my lifestyle, really not. Of course, the females that hang around me, huge difference. It's amazing how they can smell money. But Kennedy hammered home. I mean, remember Jackie walked into the Oval Office early one morning. She had a copy of Silent Spring. She set it on his desk and put a note on there and said, either you read it or, you know, she told him. He read it. It's a little teeny book about that big. I don't know if any of you ever read it. And if you don't think one person can change the world, you read that book. A lot of people in the early days were calling me the modern day Rachel Carson. As people were watching along these videos as I rant and rave that it's going to give you leukemia, it's going to give you leukemia, now I get leukemia. And I says, I'm not martyring myself for anyone. And there's no comparison to that woman. Nobody compares to her. You know, I'm a Volkswagen to a Bugatti with her. Everybody is. Read that little book. And he read it. Changed his world. As I always said, literature changes around the edges. I'm like, oh no, at the core. Harriet Beecher Stowe changed the world. You know, it's always, well, not always, so many times, it's the girls. Where are our moms? Where are those vicious, I think about my daughters. I think somebody crosses one of their children, and they're beautiful girls, really beautiful. Oh, I wouldn't mess with them. I mean, they'll protect their children. That's the way it is. The men, I think about my dad, and I think, my dad, don't cross his kids. You know, he was there. That's what we were supposed to be. The nuclear cartel is killing us. They're mass murdering us. Is it intentional? Doesn't matter if it's intentional. It's happening now. We always go back, oh, the Illuminati, the New World Order, which is the old world order, the feudal system, pay the dragon slayer. We are still but people. And it's so easy for them to do it, whatever it is, the powers are with the Walton family. And there's your cabal. The Walton family. Well, who's them? Not John Boy. No, the Bill Walmart Clinton's empire. You know, the Bill Gates who stole everything here in Utah. I go on that. I write about it in my book. Now, these post-ignorant shirts, finally I see a couple got sold on Zazzle. Somebody. My book, I raise it up because I want my post-ignorance book to really be a collector's item. There's a few people that have them, and I'm going to leave it just the way it is. But make sure when you go to that, you click the Made in America option. They give you an option. They cost, I think, a little bit more, but this one's made right there in Brooklyn. There's manufacturers. We need my yellow and black Friday. My post-ignorance project, you know, We have a great, beautiful, award-winning IT genius who's building these sites for me. Thank goodness he came around at the right time, because he's doing this because he loves his kids. And he knows how important all this is. We need to unite the clans. We need to understand that these issues are all human rights issues. We need to understand we're all in this together. Thus, the yellow band. This is, yes, the jet stream, the Pacific Ocean. You know, I was in there talking about I'm going to dye my hair blue in honor of the Pacific Ocean as I get out. Well, don't have much hair. Some of it grow, you know, when I was chemo down to nothing. But a lot of it's to keep, I was getting some spotty from the chemo burning through my skull here. Keep it off, but did the nuclear cartel kill the Kennedys? Well, I don't know, but it's sure killing all of us. He was the last man, and he was anti-nuclear. Jackie was in his ear. She was anti-nuclear. You know, we have great first ladies. We've had wonderful first ladies in this country. Even Bush's wife was a wonderful woman. You know, we can go all the way back. Incredible women. Too bad they weren't presidents. Now Hillary, she's a nuclear devil. They're all nuclear devils. What am I talking about? Did you see in the confirmation hearing of Gina McCarthy to the EPA who crashed RadNet? I thought, well, the opposition party will go nuts, and I realized that David Vitter was the ranking senator. Got no shot. Look, there is no investigative journalist. None. Zero. I mean, if you don't believe it, it's like Naomi Wolf, Chris Hedges want to write stories after the fact. Jill Stein wants to come back out against nuclear on day 900. All these people, Nader, all these people come out day 900. I've told this as it's unfolding while it's happening. You know, the Mike Lee thesis, I mean, how can that possibly introduce a balanced budget amendment on the House floor while his house, and of course, short sold to J.P. Morgan $400,000 while he's still living it? He's as corrupt. You know, we have a sitting attorney general here in this state who took a $50,000 bribe. I mean, America is corrupt, but that's what what comes next after? We're corrupt. We're the most corrupt society in probably the history of mankind. What comes then? Ecological disasters. Nuclear plants are decayed. They're unsupervised. We have no political will. I mean, and it's us. It's us as the people. We're the ones to blame. You know, we fight. Oh, go get a gun. Go to the shooting range. Yeah. When they've got the freaking, they'll drop a bee this size down your freaking vent pipe from outer space. You know, look, how many SAMs and AK-47s does Saddam have? Billions of them. They did a lot of good, you know. So that's your answer. Nobody wants to rob your Walmart fucking shit off your fucking walls and your fucking dumpy ass house, your styrofoam fucking facade. Fuck, nobody wants that junky ass shit. It's a fallacy. They sold you to sell you fucking bullets. We fight this with fucking intelligence. Cordial conversations are dangerous. Passion, intelligent arguments get results. That's me. Did the nuclear industry kill the Kennedys? I don't know, but they're sure killing you. 1,500 people a day are dying. You can argue with me all they want. 40 million people in Chernobyl killed. I love how you so-called gaslighters and you so-called soften. Oh, it's killed a million Chernobyl, Helen Caldecott. You know, here, do you want to help? Buy my book. That's all she'll say. Buy my book. I don't have any money. I don't give a fuck. You know, do this on a shoestring. We'll find a way. I have faith. Those angels that are on my shoulder right here. Oh yeah, right there. So many of them died. I've watched this death so many times in my face over and over and over now. I mean, I've watched it dozens of times now. And it's broken my heart every time. Carla, Paul, you know, over, Tracy, you know, over and over and over and over and over. I've watched it. I'm friends with them. We have a little family. As cancer victims, as AML, leukemia fighters, pancreatic cancer. Jill, she's right here with us. Jill Clarkson, you know, she's a pancreatic survivor. Listen to her. You know, listen to all these people. We're a family. We really are a family, and we stick together. Post-Ignorance Project, the 29th and 30th. It's going to be a big deal. And everybody needs to do their part with me. They need to step in. And what you can contribute to this, contribute to this. Sherry Lutz is going to have her guitar up there in Michigan at that one. You people at the devil in California, let's get to work. That's the most dangerous one. You know that's the most dangerous one in the country. Those ones in Missouri and Kansas. They are the most dangerous in the country. Get up there. Get those signs up. Stay in tune.